It's a quick daily brief for Friday, August 30, 2013. Just looking at the real estate market, there's some interesting statistics that I just pulled just to kind of give perspective to where we are in terms of people that are upside down on their mortgages. Just reading some statistics here, about 24% of all people who have a mortgage are at negative equity right now, and that's 12.2 million borrowers. But the good news is that's down about 3 million or so from where we were a year ago. There were about 15 million or so borrowers that were underwater. So it's down to 12.2 million, but that's still a gigantic number. Again, about 3.1 million fewer. More than half of those are 20% or more underwater on their mortgage, meaning that the outstanding loan on their property represents there's at least a 20% discount to where their equity in the home is to what they owe. Pretty ugly. And then 1 in 7 of those owes more than twice the equity value of their home. So that's a pretty scary statistic. And then 42% of all people that have a mortgage have less than 20% equity in their home. So obviously they can't move, and that's the key. Part of the reason we don't have inventory right now, inventory is really low, is that there are a lot of people out there that would sell, but they can't sell because they have so little equity in their home, or they're upside down, that they can't afford to move. So they can't get out of their current property because they wouldn't have a down payment. Even if they have some equity, they have less than 20% equity in their home. So if they were to sell, there's just not going to be enough money left over to buy the next home. And so for most people, that's not an option. So that's the reason why we're seeing inventory so low, which is helping to push prices up. But it's sort of an artificial condition if you want to look at it that way, because there is all this overhang of inventory that would come onto the market. As prices go up, more and more people will be able to afford to put their house on the market because they will have enough equity to move, assuming prices continue to go up. But the problem is, with rising interest rates, we may see house prices peak out here, which is kind of what I'm expecting. I wrote an article about this recently that was published in Newshawk, which you can find on my website at craigdallen.com. But the key is, inventories are low right now, which is helping support higher prices. But I think that's a temporary situation, not so much because inventories are going to go up a lot, but because rates are going to continue to rise. And as interest rates go up, house affordability goes down, and mortgage for the same price house, mortgage payments go up. And so fewer and fewer people can afford the mortgage payment. Right now, more than half of all the homes that are selling at 100% cash. That's not a good statistic either. And again, the reason for that is that we have these really light inventories, and most people that would need to borrow money to buy the next property can't afford to move because, again, they don't have enough equity in their home for the down payment, so they can't get out of what they're in, or they're upside down, which is even worse. They have no equity, they're negative equity. So some of the stuff in the real estate market that looks promising, again, house prices rising and the low inventory situation, if you look at it a little bit deeper, doesn't look all that attractive. So we'll see what happens, but rates should continue to go up. Mortgage rates are at a 2-year high right now, 4.6% roughly. They're probably going to go higher. That's what we expect to see with interest rates overall rising and the Fed starting to taper sometime in the next few months. Interest rates should continue to go up, mortgage rates should continue to go up, and that's going to put downward pressure on house prices. So for anybody out there that's in a position where they can sell right now, but they're teetering sort of on that edge of being able to get out of their property or not get out of their property due to where their equity is, now would be a good time to pull a trigger and get out.